Hello, fans! Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue that's pulling the emotional core of Port Charles into one of its most dramatic and long-awaited twists, the shocking return of Britt Westbourne. The unraveling of a 3-year mystery and a revelation that will forever change Jason Morgan's life. In a stunning turn of events, what began as a suspicious encounter at the airport is now leading to one of the biggest family bombshells the series has ever seen. Strap in, because this storyline is far from over and the secrets it holds may be more dangerous than anyone expects. It all began with a glimpse. Jason Morgan, still haunted by the people he's lost and the questions left unanswered, was on his way back from a business trip when he saw a woman at the airport who stopped him cold. It wasn't just a passing resemblance. It was her, Britt, the woman he had mourned, the woman everyone believed had died over 3 years ago. He rushed to follow her, weaving through crowds and exits, but just as quickly as she appeared, she was gone. Jason stood there, breathless, confused, and suddenly unsure of everything he thought he knew. Back in Port Charles, Jason couldn't shake the image. He began looking into flight records, reviewing surveillance footage where he could, and tracing every detail. Everyone told him to let it go, that it was just his mind playing tricks on him. After all, Britt had died. He had seen the evidence. There was a burial. There had been mourning. There was closure. Or was there? Jason wasn't ready to let it go. His instincts told him something was wrong. He became obsessed with finding out whether Britt had truly died. He started digging, going over medical records, the autopsy, the funeral arrangements. And that's when his thoughts turned to the most undeniable proof, the grave. Jason began considering the unthinkable exhuming Britt's body. It wasn't about disrespect. It was about confirmation. If the body wasn't there, it would answer every question. But if it was, at least he would know. However, Carly Spencer caught wind of Jason's intentions and stepped in immediately. She reminded Jason that Britt had died tragically, that Liesl Obrecht had grieved her daughter, and that digging up her grave would only cause more pain. Carly pleaded with Jason to stop chasing ghosts and to focus on the people who were still alive and needed him. She told him that Britt was gone and that it was time he accepted it. Jason listened, but the doubt remained. He then turned to the one person who could confirm the truth if she wanted to, Liesl Obrecht, Britt's mother. Liesl had once been among the few people Jason trusted to give it to him straight. But when he asked her if Britt could still be alive, Liesl's response was unwavering. No, my daughter is dead. Jason was struck by how adamant she was. Her pain seemed real. Her words were final. But something didn't sit right. Liesl had always been capable of hiding truths in plain sight. Her history with deception wasn't clean. And Jason began to suspect that if Britt had wanted to disappear, Liesl might have helped her do it. Then, just as Jason was preparing to confront Liesl again, everything changed. His phone rang. The number was unknown. He almost didn't answer, but he did. And on the other end of the line was Britt's voice. Jason froze. He didn't say a word at first, too stunned to believe it was real. But then she said his name softly, like a memory. And Jason knew without a doubt Britt was alive. Her voice trembled as she spoke. She had been following the news in Port Charles, keeping tabs from afar. She said she knew he'd started asking questions, that he had been digging into her past, and that she was overwhelmed to hear that he hadn't stopped looking for her. Then came the truth. Britt admitted everything. She had faked her death. It wasn't an accident, and it wasn't a WSB cover-up. It was her decision. After surviving the ordeal that everyone believed had killed her, Britt had chosen to disappear. She left Port Charles behind and moved overseas under a new identity, hoping to escape the constant chaos that surrounded her life. But it wasn't just about escaping danger or starting fresh. Britt revealed something that shattered Jason to his core. Shortly after arriving in her new country somewhere in Europe, she discovered that she was pregnant. The child was Jason's. Britt had never told anyone. She hadn't planned the pregnancy. She hadn't even believed it was possible given her medical history. But the test was positive. And 9 months later, she gave birth to a baby girl named Luna. Luna was now almost 3 years old. Jason was speechless. Everything he had believed about the last few years had just been rewritten in a single conversation. He had a daughter, a child he never knew existed. A daughter who had spent her entire life believing her father was dead, just as Jason had believed the same about her mother. But the emotional storm didn't stop there. Britt told him why she was calling now. Luna had recently been diagnosed with leukemia, and after multiple rounds of treatment and testing, doctors told her that a bone marrow transplant was her best chance at survival. Unfortunately, Luna's tissue type was rare. Britt had been tested and wasn't a match. The donor registries had come up empty. She had returned to Los Angeles in secret, hoping that someone in Jason's familiar Jason himself might be a match. Jason's world shifted in an instant. Not only did he have a daughter, but that daughter was in danger. She needed him. And nothing else mattered now. He told Britt he wanted to meet as soon as possible. He asked where she was, how soon they could see each other. Britt promised they would meet the next day. But before hanging up, she left Jason with one final warning. There are things I still haven't told you. Please be patient. Jason agreed, but his mind was already spinning. He now knew. Britt was alive. Luna was his daughter. Luna was sick and needed a donor. And Britt had kept this a secret for 3 years. Even with his head swimming in questions, Jason's first priority became finding a match for Luna. He contacted Spinelli, started arranging private testing, and planned to have everyone in the Quartermain and Corinthos families tested. Carly, despite her earlier objections, promised to help. So did Michael. Even Sonny, after hearing the news, stepped forward and told Jason he'd do whatever it took to help Luna. But questions remain. Why did Britt fake her death so convincingly? How much does Liesl actually know? Where has Britt been living? Why did she never tell Jason about Luna until now? And most ominously, what is Britt still hiding? Because if Britt has been keeping this many secrets for this long, there's no telling what other dangers she may have brought back with her. Did someone follow her to LA? Is someone trying to silence her? Did Luna's illness force her return? Or was there something or someone else pushing her back into Jason's world? Jason is preparing for the meeting. But he knows one thing for sure. This isn't just a reunion. It's the beginning of a new war, a new responsibility, and a chance at something he never thought possible: fatherhood. Next, we will uncover the chilling rumors swirling around upcoming deaths in Port Charles and their potential impact on fan-favorite characters. In the unpredictable realm of Port Charles, where secrets unravel like threads in a tangled web and alliances fracture under pressure, ABC General Hospital spoilers are buzzing with ominous predictions from a trusted insider. This leaker, who accurately foresaw Natalia Ramirez's heartbreaking end and Sasha Corbin's departure long before official announcements, now warns of 4 devastating deaths set to rock the show this fall. Among these tragedies, one strikes particularly close to home for the resilient Carly Spencer, as whispers point to Jack Brennan facing a fatal exit that could shatter her world. The perilous world of espionage and hidden agendas that defines Brennan's life makes his demise feel almost inevitable, painting a vivid picture of a final, desperate moment where he whispers his undying affection to Carly amid encroaching danger. To infuse a fresh, inventive spark, envision a clandestine rendezvous at the Metro Court rooftop, where Brennan, sensing his doom, gifts Carly a locket containing a hidden message, a coded plea for her to protect their shared secret, setting emotional depth to their doomed romance and leaving viewers with lingering questions about unfinished business. Social media is already ablaze with grief from devoted fans lamenting the possible end of Jack and Carly's electrifying connection, a pairing that ignited sparks from their first charged encounter. Initially, the audience struggled to embrace the recast, with Chris Van Etten stepping in as Brennan after Charles Measure's departure, a switch that sparked debates over chemistry and continuity. Over time, though, supporters rallied behind the new portrayal, charmed by the nuanced tension and passion that blossomed between Brennan and Carly, turning skeptics into ardent shippers. Yet, not everyone is on board. A vocal faction condemns Carly's involvement with the enigmatic operative who secretly enlisted her daughter, Jocelyn Jacks, into the shadowy ranks of the World Security Bureau WSB. This betrayal simmers beneath the surface, fueling arguments that Brennan's charm masked a manipulative core unfit for Carly's fierce independence. Inventing a new layer to heighten the drama, picture fan forums exploding with speculative fan fiction where an alternate timeline sees Measures Brennan return as a ghostly advisor, guiding Carly through her grief and exposing WSB corruption, blending supernatural elements with the show's intrigue to captivate longtime viewers. Diving into the web of deception, Brennan has woven months of lies around Carly, concealing a pivotal incident at Cyrus Renault's remote cabin where Jocelyn, in a pulse-pounding act of self-preservation, ended his life. Brennan swiftly intervened, orchestrating a meticulous cover-up to shield her from repercussions, only to pivot and persuade the vulnerable young woman to join his covert operations as a WSB agent. This recruitment thrust Jocelyn into a high-stakes double life, far from the college dreams her mother envisioned. Complicating matters, the astute Anna Devane has pieced together the puzzle, confiding in Dante Falconeri about Jocelyn's new role while urging him to maintain absolute discretion to avoid escalating risks. To creatively expand this intrigue, imagine an invented subplot where Jocelyn's first mission involves infiltrating an underground gala hosted by Port Charles elites, where she overhears whispers of Brennan's enemies plotting his downfall, forcing her to choose between loyalty to her recruiter and protecting her family, thereby amplifying the tension and showcasing Jocelyn's emerging spy prowess. Brennan's current pursuits add another layer of peril, as he's deeply entrenched in probing the dubious activities of Professor Henry Dalton at Port Charles University, whose research reeks of ethical violations, including whispers of barbaric experiments on unsuspecting animals. This shadowy endeavor could be the catalyst for Brennan's rumored exit, perhaps through a deadly confrontation with Dalton's henchmen or an ill-fated encounter with the ruthless arms dealer Jen Sidwell, whose global network of threats often intersects with WSB operations. Such a twist would not only heighten the stakes but also tie into broader themes of morality and consequence in Port Charles, adding an inventive element for flair. What if the storyline introduces a whistleblower student at PCU who allies with Brennan, providing encrypted files on Dalton's lab, horrors complete with dramatic visuals of caged creatures Brennan uses in a last-ditch effort to expose the professor, only for it to backfire in an explosive ambush, merging animal rights advocacy with high-octane action. Should these grim spoilers come to fruition and Brennan meets his end, Carly will grapple with a double blow: the heartache of losing her passionate confidant and the gut-wrenching truth about his role in Jocelyn's dangerous recruitment. This revelation promises to unleash a storm of emotions, leaving fans pondering how Carly's unyielding spirit will weather the betrayal. In her moment of vulnerability, she likely turned to her lifelong rock, Jason Morgan, whose steadfast presence has anchored her through countless storms. However, by then, Jason might be entangled in a rekindled spark with his past love, Britt Westbourne, whose mysterious return could divert his focus and complicate their dynamic. To rephrase and enrich creatively, envision Carly stumbling upon Jocelyn's WSB badge during a heated confrontation, triggering a montage of flashbacks to her own past deceptions, forcing a profound self-reflection that strengthens her resolve and perhaps leads to an alliance with Anna to dismantle lingering threats. Amid this turmoil, there's a fervent hope that Carly steers clear of rekindling her tumultuous history with Sonny Corinthos for what feels like the umpteenth time, as their cycle of passion and pain has worn thin. While some romantics insist Sonny and Carly are destined soulmates, reuniting them would undermine the impressive evolution Carly has undergone, emerging stronger and more self-assured. We cheered her bold decision to sever ties after discovering Sonny's infidelity with Nina Reeves, a betrayal that prompted her divorce and marked a turning point toward empowerment. Free from the repetitive toxicity that defined their union, Carly has blossomed into a force of independence, and preserving that growth means embracing healthier paths. ideally as amicable friends and dedicated co-parents to their shared children. Inventing a fresh detail to underscore this, imagine a therapeutic coffee chat between Carly and her best friend Olivia Quartermaine, where they dissect past relationships over lattes. With Olivia offering sage advice drawn from her own Quartermaine family dramas, reinforcing Carly's commitment to moving forward without Sunny's shadow. As these rumors circulate, the GH community holds its breath, wishing fervently that the talk of Brennan's death proves to be nothing more than overblown speculation, sparing Carly further anguish and allowing their romance to evolve. Yet, with the fall lineup promising seismic shifts, including those other 3 mysterious fatalities, the stage is set for unforgettable drama that could redefine alliances and heartbreaks in Port Charles. Will Carly find solace in unexpected places, or will these events pull her back into familiar patterns? Next, we will delve into the explosive spoilers shaking up Port Charles over the next 2 weeks, packed with vows, mysteries, and calculated schemes that promise to keep fans glued to their screens. In the whirlwind of intrigue that defines life in Port Charles, where every glance hides a secret and every alliance teeters on the edge of betrayal, ABC General Hospital is gearing up for a fortnight of jaw-dropping revelations from July 28th to August 8th. Viewers are in for a roller coaster as Willow Tate commits to a solemn promise that hints at a burning desire for payback, perhaps stemming from recent heartaches that have tested her limits. Meanwhile, the enigmatic Jason Morgan turns to the compassionate Elizabeth Baldwin for crucial assistance in unraveling the enigma surrounding Britt Westbourne, a quest that could resurrect ghosts from the past. Adding to the mix, Nina Reeves orchestrates a covert operation that's sure to ripple through relationships like a hidden undercurrent. To creatively enhance this overview, picture a special teaser episode where these threads intersect at a lavish Quartermaine gala, with Willa's vow whispered amid champagne toasts, Jason slipping into shadowed corners for clues, and Nina's move unfolding in a private alcove, heightening the anticipation and weaving personal vendettas into the fabric of high society drama. Kicking off the action from July 29th to August 1st, the shadowy world of international espionage takes center stage as Jack Brennan issues fresh directives to his recruit, WSB operative Jocelyn Jacks, thrusting her deeper into a web of danger that blurs the lines between duty and family loyalty. This development comes hot on the heels of Jason's startling conviction that he spotted the late Britt Westbourne at the bustling airport, an image that's lodged itself firmly in his mind like an unsolved puzzle. Desperate for perspective, Jason confides in his longtime ally Carly Spencer, who gently reminds him of Britt's confirmed passing, yet Jason counters with his own miraculous return from the grave, fueling speculation that Britt might have pulled off a similar feat of survival. Inventing a new element to amplify the suspense, imagine Jason discovering a cryptic postcard in his jacket pocket post-sighting, bearing Britt's handwriting and a coded message referencing their shared history, prompting him to question if it's a deliberate lure or a genuine cry for help, thereby intensifying his determination and drawing Carly into the investigation with her sharp instincts. Pressing forward in his pursuit, Jason sets out to locate the formidable Liesl Obrecht, engaging her in a tense conversation about her daughter's fate that might yield elusive hints or stonewalling denials, leaving audiences wondering if any solid leads will emerge from their exchange. As the mystery thickens, Jason may seek out Elizabeth's expertise, leveraging her deep ties within General Hospital to dig into records surrounding Britt's supposed demise, potentially uncovering discrepancies in medical reports or witness accounts. Complicating matters, Jason, often seen as the ultimate right-hand enforcer, delivers pivotal updates to Anna Devane, which could shift the balance of power in ongoing investigations and expose vulnerabilities in Port Charles' underbelly. To rephrase and expand inventively, envision a late-night meeting at the hospital archives where Elizabeth and Jason pore over faded files under dim lights, stumbling upon an invented anonymous tip line entry suggesting Britt's body was never autopsied due to a bureaucratic mix-up, sparking theories of a body double and propelling them toward a clandestine alliance with hospital insiders for deeper probes. Amid these shadowy dealings, the spotlight turns to Willow Tate as she proceeds down the aisle. undeterred by shattering discoveries about Drew Kane that have ignited a firestorm of resentment within her. With fury evident in her piercing gaze aimed squarely at Drew, Willow might unleash a verbal onslaught right at the ceremonial altar, transforming what should be a moment of unity into a public reckoning that exposes buried truths. Following this emotional upheaval, Elizabeth finds herself hosting an unforeseen visitor at her doorstep, a surprise arrival that could bring warmth or chaos to her already bustling household. Meanwhile, Michael Corinthos faces a wrenching choice, likely tied to Willow's actions, where despite pinning the blame on Drew, he might contemplate barring Willow from their children, especially in light of her past harms towards Sasha Gilmore and the enigmatic Daisy. Hoping for resolve, fans speculate Michael will stand firm to protect his family unit. Adding a creative new detail, picture Michael consulting a family therapist in a heartfelt scene, weighing pros and cons on a notepad that includes invented flashbacks to Willow's missteps, ultimately deciding on supervised visits to foster healing while safeguarding the kids' well-being. Layering on more intrigue, Nina Reeves executes a clandestine maneuver that's shrouded in mystery, possibly aimed at reclaiming influence or mending fractured bonds in unexpected ways, keeping everyone guessing about her endgame. Young minds converge as Emma Scorpio Drake and Gio Palmieri collaborate on a scheme, their youthful energy perhaps uncovering clues or stirring up lighthearted trouble amid the heavier plots. To inventively enrich this segment, imagine Nina's secret involving a hidden safety deposit box containing documents that could exonerate or implicate key figures, with Emma and Gio accidentally stumbling upon a related artifact during a school project at Port Charles University, turning their teamwork into an unintended adventure that links back to larger conspiracies and adds a generational twist to the narrative. Shifting to the week of August 4th, young Rocco Falconeri persists in forging a bond with Liesl Obrecht, brushing aside cautions from his mother Lulu Spencer and father Dante Falconeri. A connection that might reveal hidden family secrets or lead to tender moments of understanding. Jason's relentless hunt for the truth about Britt presses on, potentially enlisting the tech-savvy Damian Spinelli to hack into databases or trace digital footprints that could confirm her survival. On a darker note, the menacing Jens Sidwell brews a plot for vengeance against Sonny Corinthos, wisely biding his time to avoid immediate police scrutiny, embodying the calculated patience of a predator waiting for the perfect strike. Creatively expanding here, envision Rocco and Liesl sharing an invented picnic in the park where she shares untold stories of Britt's childhood, unknowingly providing Jason with overheard clues that Spinelli uses to decode encrypted emails, all while Sidwell orchestrates a shadow network of informants in Port Charles, planting false leads to lure Sonny into a trap during a high-profile event like the Nurses' Ball. As these threads weave together, the coming weeks on ABC General Hospital promise a tapestry of emotion, deception, and redemption that will redefine relationships and unearth long-buried truths in Port Charles. Will Willow's vow lead to explosive confrontations, or will Jason's search reunite lost loves? With Nina's secrets and Sidwell's schemes looming, the drama is set to escalate. Don't miss a single episode to tune in daily to catch every twist, and drop your theories on these spoilers in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more exclusive updates.